Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today guys we're going to be jumping down into the world of Bitcoin, taking a look at the most recent price action and what I think is likely to happen next. Now as I get into today's video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Let's jump right down into this one, keep it nice and brief and on the point. Let's kick things off with that 1 hour time frame. So here we have a Bitcoin paired up with USDT. We're using the BitGet spot exchange, and following on from yesterday's video, we kind of almost hit our target range. So we're targeting out the 28,298 to 28,525. We did see that move to the downside a little bit deeper than expected. We were hoping to kind of keep it, around and about the 200 EMA, and you can see that we came down a little bit deeper than the 200 EMA. Just liquidate those longs, and then we went up north a little bit here. You can see that we are short of our target range. We peaked out at 28,266, so a little bit short of the Z wave expectation there within a three-wave pattern. But again, not terribly too unusual, because we did move down a little bit deeper, so that would actually have changed our target quite a bit. So for this, it's actually not too bad and has reached kind of the expectations here. So what are we expecting to happen next? Well, the next kind of move here for BTC, in my opinion, is going to be quite a slow and stagnant one. I expect us to kind of move around a bit over the weekend, just kind of going in a sideways pattern, just kind of a continuation sideways kind of move. We have a fair value gap down here as well between 27,700 and 27,800. So chances are we're probably going to grind down there, fill that out, bounce up a little bit, move back down. I expect us to kind of range between the peak and troughs here. So I expect us to kind of range between these two levels of 27,178 and 28,266. Of course, we might get the occasional break above or below one of those, but for the most part, our expectations have been met. We can push up higher if we needed to. We are just now waiting for that next clear structure to appear so that we can get a good bead on where we think ultimately Bitcoin is going. So expect some boring sideways volatility over the weekend, essentially just kind of keeping it within a tight range. We'll probably find that the 50 EMA and the 50 SMA over by that fair value gap are likely to be support, at least briefly. We'll see how that kind of goes into tomorrow. Let's take us up into a daily time frame. On the daily time frame, we are still sat within our 5-wave bearish structured move to the downside. The only way to break out of this pattern is for Bitcoin to go up higher than 28,588. So if it does not break above 28,588, then essentially we have no choice but to go down, and our target range is 22,477 to 23,783. Sorry, 787. So essentially, yeah, 22 to $23,000, right? And so we still have this bearish structure here that has to play out, unless of course we can prove otherwise, which would be that we break above that 28,588. Okay, so that structure still remains true right there. We can see that we have a bit of a cross on the 3rd of October, the 50 EMA above the 200 EMA, and the 50 SMA is a little bit deeper there. So we had the death cross on the 24th of September. We've rallied up a little bit again. These things are all kind of to be expected to a point, because a lot of these kind of things are only showing you what's already happened, right? Death cross, golden cross, they're only showing you what's already occurred in the price chart. They're not predictive. You can only try to predict people's behavior based on the negativity. Now, there hasn't been a lot of press around Bitcoin death cross or Bitcoin golden cross, things like this. And as such, you can kind of note that essentially, there's been less activity because people do not know, or retail investors did not know that was going on. And therefore, we do not see that volatility. Now, in a bullish market, that stuff's going to get spoken about a lot more, specifically when it comes to bullish or death cross scenarios, and you will find more volatility on the back of them. In this particular example here, we saw very little activity on this one. Again, this is testament to just how low the volumes are generally. If we go ahead and show you the volumes here, you can see the volumes are really, really low, specifically lower in where we were previously in the previous bull market. You can see here, and it's very easy to depict on our daily time frame, where we were back in 2021 versus where we are here in 2023, and of course in 2022. 2022. Okay, we know that basically when the bullish market started back in 2020, okay, we see very, very significant volumes, and yet we are nowhere near any of that at the moment. So we know that the volumes are down low. You have to zoom out to appreciate that. From a divergence indicator, there's nothing here to kind of note. We have no hidden bearish or bullish divergence on the daily time frame there. So yeah, for the most part, we are just looking at still pulling the price down, unless of course we can break above that 28,588. Take this to a weekly time frame. We can see that we're still finding that upper resistance. The resistance still sits there at 28,600 to 32,289. And yeah, we are above the 50 EMA. We're above the 200 EMA, which we were ranging in between for a few weeks there. And ultimately, we're still finding that upper area of resistance. We're not able to break out. Now, taking a look at this, I would say that this looks like we are still in a bearish movement here across the entirety of this weekly chart, if I'm being honest. To me, this looks like from an Elliott Wave theory point of view that we are still looking for this deeper correction down towards $20,000, maybe even deeper. We'll see how that kind of plays out, but I'm not confident on the weekly time frame here, thinking that things are looking all bullish, etc. Ultimately, as I said yesterday, we do, if I put a trend line here on our stochastic RSI, we're up against resistance on that stochastic RSI. We're up against resistance on the price area here of the chart. I suspect that we're probably going to see a downward movement. This also would be consistent with what we're expecting on the daily time frame. So for me, I would say that Bitcoin still looks bearish, unless of course we can prove it otherwise. And so yeah, basically business as usual. I think we're going to see a little bit of boring sideways action in the next kind of 24 hours. A little bit more volatility to be seen on the Sunday than there is on the Saturday typically. So we'll see how that goes. But we're up against resistance, and we are looking at moves to the downside. Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below, but I'm going to leave this one right there. If you have found it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. Until the next one though, guys, have a fantastic day.